YouTube, man. YouTube. I said YouTube. What it do, man? It's your boy Benji, and we are back in Between the Ropes. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. We love all things entertainment this way. Movies, TV shows, and of course our good old wrestling. We get into it, man. Of course, we are fresh off of a WWE Smackdown. This is the send-off show, the go-home show. Because we got WRESTLEPALOOZA tomorrow. Alright? So this episode gots to be a banger. Right? Well, we're going to talk about the good, bad, ugly, the yay, nay, and somewhere in the middle lies okay. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into the show, man. So, WWE SmackDown started off. Brock Lesnar walks down the ramp and finds Michael Cole standing right at the end. He ends up picking up Michael Cole like a baby and then parades around the ring with him. Funny enough, it seemed like it was extremely difficult for them to get into the ring. I don't know what this was about. But just as Brock looked like he was about to put the beat down, the smackdown on Cole, Corey Graves runs into the ring to slow down Big Brock. So mind you, we're opening the show with two commentators in the middle of a brawl with a possible main eventer. Of course, Corey Graves catches an F5 and then Brock goes to the camera to yell, "I'm coming for blood." So if you had to ask me, this could have really been a solid scene if we knew why he was coming for blood, what led him to beat up the commentators, and why him and Cena are even fighting in the first place. So, whatever. Brock then walks out of the ring and looks like he's about to leave the arena as some of the medical staff starts to attend to Corey Graves. He then walks back into the ring and F5s Corey again. He keeps yelling, "Cena, Cena." Like, is this supposed to, like, bring John Cena out? Dude, I don't even understand what he's doing. He's acting like John Cena's hiding from him. His appearance dates are public information. I don't understand why we didn't get a scene like this after, like, maybe Night of Champions. So, if you had asked me, this entire segment falls flat on me because it's just, like, too little, too late. Like, the potential was there, though. I could see the vision. But it don't quite add up. Scenes like that typically fall flat on me as well when it's commentators, dude. I mean, they had nothing to do with this. It could have meant something if we were trying to build up Brock Lesnar being a just disrespectful savage and building a lot of heat for him. But this could happen a couple of weeks ago. Whatever. I'm not going to continue to nitpick. Brock ends up walking backstage, and we do see him stare down Paul Heyman, who has returned from the hospital, and he tells Heyman, "We should talk." Now, I'm not going to lie. That could be interesting. Cole ends up getting right back to the commentary desk. The cameras get on him, and he mentions that he has never been manhandled like that. Now, I will say, he is really good at selling moments like this. But again, it just sucks that the story has so many holes because him and Corey probably did one of the best sell jobs we've seen in months. They did more work for Brock Lesnar in this segment than Brock Lesnar has done for himself and the writing team has done for Brock Lesnar. Some of y'all might be asking why Paul Heyman is on SmackDown. Apparently they were looking for the Usos because they wanted to have a conversation with them, but they are not in the building. So great job that these idiots decided to just show up to a random city in search of the Usos. Great job. Very calculated from the vision. One of the first matches of the night is the Secret HERVICE versus Lexa and Charlotte. This match does have the tag team titles on the line. But I told y'all, I was done with the Secret HERVICE months ago. I don't know where Piper Niven is, but of course, the Secret HERVICE loses. They're not a formidable foe. We've seen them just take L after L after L after L. And this is after Chelsea Green already lost her United States Championship belt. So there's literally no winning amongst this group. They're not even booked good. Like, they don't even do anything good. Like, they literally just have Chelsea Green, who is the head of this faction, get beat up every week. And the Secret HERVICE, which is supposed to be a bunch of women that actually has the strength and validity to protect her, they can't beat up anybody. It's goofy though, so whatever. But yeah, strangely enough, the win actually came via a natural selection from Charlotte. So I've seen her do that move as a transition move so frequently. It was kind of weird to see it as a finisher. The pretty positive thing here about this match was that we got Miz on the commentary, so he looks like he's going to be sitting at the desk the rest of the episode. We then get the Street Profits backstage mean mugging and B-Fab is trying to tell them to set things straight. But let's think about it for a second. Am I crazy? Why are the Street Profits mad at one another? Is it because they flubbed in the match and lost? They've been losing for over 4 years. Why should one loss just suddenly break them up? It's not even like they've been playing into that angle. These guys are mad about a specific moment in that match. Like, the layup was there. 4 years of them chasing after the tag team championships for them to finally win and then lose it over something dumb. That could have been something they could have built it up on. So they could have got to the point where, like, brother, we had the tag team titles right here. We worked so hard. I stayed by your side through your ups and downs. And then you messed it up. No, you messed it up. That could have been easy. Easy layup. Easy layup. But this is what we get. And then for some reason, in the middle of this, Mi Shin shows up to take BFAB away because they need to talk about their tag team match versus Kiana and Julia, who, if I'm not mistaken, did not get TV time this episode. Your United States champion did not get TV time this episode. For like the 100th episode in a row. Dude, she's had that title for like 90 days. And has fought 2 matches. What are we doing with all these women? Like, literally. Between SmackDown and Raw, this is crazy. But yeah, we could have had a better chance with the Secret HERVICE versus Julia and Kiana or something like that. Like, at the very least, imagine the promos. Chelsea wanted to speak to Julia about the title, but she's only allowed to speak through her rep. And then Julia could want to speak to Chelsea about challenging for the title, but the Secret HERVICE won't let her talk to Chelsea without coming through them first. This could have been at least something that could have turned into some entertainment. Something. But yeah, we got the U.S. champion doing anything but defending their title because they're supposed to be fighting in a tag team match against these 2 women. Like, if you had to ask me, let the one of the 100 girls on NXT at least fight Julia real quick for a week or 2 in a match. At least that'd be good to watch. At least it'd be good graps. Like, Shorty been fighting against elite athletes when she came to the WNBA. I'm sorry, the WNBA is crazy. The WWE. And then she gets called up to the main roster. She's stuck in the Mi Shin vortex. Like, what are they doing with her and Stephanie? Like, if you had to think about it, bro, Stephanie's been off TV and on TV and off TV for like months since she came to the main roster. They've been wasting her time too. And honestly, who cares about Kiana James? After the Street Profits seemingly squashed their beef, we get Bo Dallas lurking in the back, coming to talk to Angelo Dawkins. He whispers to him, "Your brother doesn't want to hear what you have to say, but I am here to listen." He's doing like the Karrion Kross thing. Anyways, Montez jumps on him and ends up yoking him up for running his mouth, but Big Eric Rowan shows up and beats these boys up. Probably the craziest thing I've seen in this episode was an in-show ad from RTRUTH. Like, this is literally crazy. This dude was giving Los Garzas a tutorial on the many ways that you can purchase WrestlePalooza and some of the PLEs moving forward from the ESPN app. This is why we chanted "We Want Truth." We chanted "We Want Truth" for this. Next segment. We cut to FRAXIOM and they enter the ring. But in the middle of their entrance, the BRONs show up and beat up these losers. They are adding Raw members to Smackdown shows. I said a long time ago that these 2 boys, the BRONs, could have been in the tag team division. They could have been wrecking shop. They could have been winning title, winning gold, which would help contribute to what you think would be the vision of the future. But no, they've just been mindlessly beating up people for Seth Rollins. Of course, Nick Aldis shows up and orders these guys to have a match. And it begs the question, who was FRAXIOM even here to fight in the first place? This was a good match, but at least we finally get these dudes booked like beasts. I mean, look, FRAXIOM, they put up a valiant effort. But the finish of the match was pretty cool. After Bronson drops Fraser with a Jagged Edge, Axiom tries to climb up to the top rope to intercept Bronson from a tsunami splash. Bronson ends up throwing that dude off the top rope. And Braun Breaker catches that fool mid-air, snatching him out of the air with a spear. And then Big Braun ends up landing the tsunami to win the match. We, interestingly enough, got the Usos on the screen right after this. And they actually cut a pretty solid throwback promo welcoming these boys to the Uso Penitentiary. We also saw Nia Jax come to the ring and mention what we all agree on. She quote, and I quote, she says, "I am sick of the women's division." I think we all are. The rest of this promo sucks. Nia brought up the fact that Jade looked really good until she gets in the ring, and then that Tiffy time is pretty annoying. Again, I feel sorry for them. The women's division does not suck for lack of talent, because I'd argue that they have the most talent on the roster. For sure. The women's division is stacked, but they're just wasting time with these stories. Like, I have no idea what the powers that be are setting up. We also get Tiffy time showing up, and this is actually not a bad promo. She should stick to promos that are under 30 seconds. Seriously, this is pretty good. And then after she says what she needs to say, Jade Cargill shows up, drops a couple security guards, and then walks past Tiffany on the way to the ring. The only sensible thing about this segment is that everybody is upset with Nia. It does make sense. I mean, even the crowd is booing her. At least she's able to drum up a little bit of heat. I don't know what kind of heat we're talking now at this point, but hey, she did what she needed to do. Nick Aldis shows up and says that they're going to have a triple threat match next week. I don't know what happened to WrestlePalooza, so this kind of seemed like a waste of our time, but at least they're buying time for something. They're building for something. Maybe an injury, return, something. We then saw the match that we all thought was going to be pretty solid. Carmelo Hayes versus Sami Zayn, and guess what? Guess who won? I'm going to give you a hint. It's not Carmelo Hayes. Sami ends up winning with a big boot that was maybe disguised as a haluva kick, and then drops his fool with a Blue Thunder Bomb. I'm actually not mad at Carmelo for not winning, and it was actually pretty nice to hear The Miz on commentary rooting for him. But all in all, this was, and possibly will be, go down at least as a pointless match. Carmelo's going to move forwards from this and go challenge for the tag titles. Likely lose, and hopefully he crashes out on The Miz. And, you know, there's a myriad of stories you can run off of that. But the strange thing here is that there aren't really people backstage to challenge Sami Zayn, right? Besides, like, maybe Jacob. So what do we do now? Are we just going to let him hold the title until War Games? What's going on? I don't know. I mean, if you really had to think about it, one of the only other people that could have jobbed out was one of the boys from Pretty Deadly. But one of these fools actually interrupted mid-combo from Nick Aldis, with Nick Aldis by Damian Priest. And the fool actually gets thrown to a wall. That, like, I'm literally not even planning this stuff. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually pretty funny. Like, I'm not gonna complain about everything in the show. This is actually pretty funny. The main event was Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. They faced off to sign the contract, and Cody Rhodes called this dude Drew a keyboard warrior. But I can't lie, he may be in many things. At this point, Drew, you have to embrace the fact that you are a keyboard warrior, because he put up a banger tweet right before this match. I'm sorry, right before this face-to-face meetup. This dude literally clipped this footage and said this is what Cody's promo was going to be tonight.
And God, the amount of times that I've asked you to respect me and respect my anxiety pin is, at this point, getting ridiculous, Cody. And God.
Drew's a legend. He's really online. But yeah, I don't really remember much from this promo beside Drew mentioning that even though Cody Rhodes is the corporate champ and wants to keep a clean image for the people, they will turn on him eventually. He ends up headbutting Cody after they both sign paperwork, and he makes sure to not beat him up so badly that he still can't compete against him tomorrow. This is the show. That is the show. Nothing really eventful happens. We're supposed to be heading into one of the biggest mergers of the recent era, I guess next to Netflix. But this didn't really feel like a go-home show. But I'm not going to be a complete hater on SmackDown. This was definitely a better episode than we've seen over the last few weeks. But we had all the players here. Don't know what happened to Randy Orton. He wasn't on this episode. I don't know. I really don't even know what Logan Paul is. This dude just disappeared as well. Has anybody seen Jacob Batu? All in all, if I'm going, y'all probably not gonna believe me. All in all, before I started to think about it, you know, we like yay, nay, and somewhere in between okay. This actually might have been an okay episode. Like, again, there were some moments in it that I think were good. Like, you know, Brock Lesnar beating up the commentators, Damian Priest throwing a fool through the wall. Like, there were some moments here that I think could have been good had the story going into it been good. I think the Nia Jax line about Jade not being able to wrestle would have landed, as you talked about that maybe a couple of weeks ago. Like, there's just so many things I think they did just a little bit too late for it to really have any true effect. And I will say, too, bro, after the last couple crowds that we've seen, this crowd was trash. Just by comparison. They're not a trash crowd, you know, in totality, but by recent comparison, they were trash. I don't know. I'm just debating about what I'm going to do. I know there was 100 tutorials on how to, you know, access WRESTLEPALOOZA. I'm still debating with myself about what I'm going to do about that. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments below. Let me know any other videos you want me to check out, movies, TV shows, all that. Let's get it.